Slava.
Yeah?
Let's play Battlefield multiplayer.
I can't, I'm making a video.
I hear you play Pong.
Yeah, well...
Okay, let's play Pong multiplayer.
Yes, that's right. Welcome to this very first Venerable How-To. Today I will show you step by step how you can use DosBox to play games like Doom against other real-life humans such as yourself. Looking back tens of thousands of years, it's no surprise that we've craved the multiplayer gaming experience so much. Even cavemen realized that after a while, playing with yourself just isn't as fun as, say, a rousing game of wife toss. But once we became more civilized, multiplayer games began to require more brains than brawn. Games such as croquet and jacks became fun-filled ways to whittle away the hours with a friend. But then a dark age came over the land, and people started using personal computers. It didn't take long for people to forget about companionship of others. They started growing apart. They had their best friend in the whole world right there placed on top of a little desk in front of them. And who could ask for anything else? Well, except for these guys. And this guy seemed to love multiplayer games. He came up with this. And then there's this multiplayer space game. And this one. And who could forget this vintage 3D deathmatch shooter? But it was that one game. That holy game. That game that caused so many an unslept night in your friend's basement. That carpet stained with Jolt soda and Doritos crumbs. Ah, the good old days. The game, of course, was Doom. And the gross basement was, of course, due to the raucous LAN party the night before. But as all things go, with our super fast, awesome computers, games like Doom don't run anymore. So we had to come up with clever ways to play our vintage favorites and get past this dreaded error message. Alright, yeah, sweet, Doom. Here we go. What? So the brilliant computing minds of the internet came up with DosBox. And it really is just like DOS. Same cool commands and everything. cd space, dir, dir/p, dir.exe. Which brings me to Step 1. Get DosBox. So for those that don't have it, go to DosBox.com, download and install the program, and the first thing you have to do once it's on your computer is modify the configuration file. Find the line for IPX, and if it's currently set to false, change that value to true. This enables the UDP IP emulation, so we can actually connect to other computers. Mind you, this isn't the only way to get a network set up in DOSBox. Some games can only run a serial connection, some games require modem emulation, but IPX is the easiest to set up and the most commonly used in games throughout the 90s.
Step 2. Connecting to other computers.
So there are actually two ways to connect with other computers. The first I'll talk about is via a LAN or local area network. So you can only do this if the person you're playing with is on the same router, basically in your house connected via Ethernet or Wi-Fi. First thing is, since most of us are on routers with ultra high security, you'll need to log into the router and forward a port to get access. I have Xfinity, so the IP address I use to access router settings is 10.0.0.1. Yours will probably be different, and if you don't know your router's IP address, Google should be able to help you out if you know the router brand like Linksys or Netgear. So in my advanced options, I can open up and forward a new port on an IP address within the bounds of my router. So here I'll go with 10.0.0.2 and grab port 213. There's really no reason to use any other port. DosBox defaults to 213 and I've never had problems with it. So now we're ready to go back to DosBox and set up our network. The command you always use is some variation of IPXNet. So for this example, I'll be the host and start a server. So IPXNet start server. You can then check on the status of your server like so. And then when you're ready to play, every client computer on your LAN must connect to your server using the IP address we opened up in the router port forwarding menu. So in my instance, my friends would put in IPXNet connect 10.0.0.2. So now that we got the business out of the way, let's have some fun. Alright, weird Russian guy, you ready to play? Duh. Did you connect to my server using the IPXNet connect? Duh. Do you have the game open? Duh. Alright, here we go. Alright, now you know we're playing cooperative, right? Хорошо. Come on, man. What are you doing? Syncing. Alright, let's go to the left corridor. I'll grab the armor, you take the shards and the health boosts. Okay. Now, don't go running into rooms without me, alright? We gotta communicate and work together. What the hell are we shooting at? What the hell is that? Oh my god. Dude, are you serious? We're playing co-op. I got frag. Co-op, man. Co-op. What do you mean co-op? Cooperative. We work together. Oh. I got frag. Hey. So if you don't feel like playing with the idiots in your house, you can always play via VPN or virtual private network with literally anyone out there in the world, assuming you allow them access to your private network. I don't recommend doing this with complete strangers, but it's great if you have a friend who's not nearby and loves to play old DOS games as much as you do. So the way I would set up a VPN is using a program called Logmein Hamachi. It's free, it's functional, and I don't know of a reason not to use it. So once you download and install the program, you as the game host will have to create a new network. Give it a name and a password, and have your friends join the network by telling them all the info you just entered. And then you're pretty much all set. So now, when you create an IPX server in DosBox, your IP address matches the virtual IP that Hamachi created. So anyone joining your game needs to now type IPXNet connect blah 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 virtual IP address. And that's it. You're fully armed to play hundreds of thousands of different DOS titles with multiplayer capability. And thanks for watching. I hope you've been either educated or entertained, or hopefully both. So please subscribe to the VenerableGames channel if so. До свидания. I got frag.